So Strava just released an update on best efforts. This is a feature that used to only be on the web version, which is now available on the mobile app. So best efforts, if you don't know, is the benchmark distances and your best time for those distances. So to give an example, what is your fastest 1K that you've done, or your fastest 10K or 21 and so forth. So now you can actually see it in the mobile app. So let me show you. If you open up your app, you can navigate to any one of your runs. If you open up the run, it is really important to know that the way that it tracks your best efforts is it's not using your moving time. So moving time is the one that you actually see on the main screen there. That's 1 hour and 15 minutes. What it actually uses is your elapsed time. So you see that by opening up the analysis and scrolling down, then you can see there's a moving time and an elapsed time. The difference between these two, as you can see, there's about a half an hour difference, has to do with whether you pause your run or stand still. If you have an option where when you stand still that it stops recording. So the elapsed time is the total time of your entire entry, whereas moving time is when you actually click, enter start and start running. So you can see here, this was a breakfast run that we did. So we stood for a while at a farmer's market close by. So it will use this time. So sometimes it'll throw off what that best effort will be, but it's just useful to know that. So where you can actually find your best effort on the app itself is when you scroll down to where you usually have your segments. You can see that there. Here you've got your results. And there's segments, right? So that's where we usually see the segments, but now we have best efforts with that. And here you can see the distances that's relevant to this run. So I only ran 12 kilometers, which means it's not going to show me a best effort for a 21. It's going to cap it at what was the fastest 10K in this time period. And as I said, it uses elapsed time. So you can see my fastest 10K for this, which basically included like half an hour of a pause period, is 8 minutes 19 per kilometer, which is an hour 23. So that's not really that useful for me. A bit more useful would be the shorter distances. So you can see a 5K at 5:22 or a 1K at 5:26. So this is pretty useful for me to track what was my fastest effort for those benchmark distances. Now, the other nice thing is you can actually compare this to your all your Strava entries that you've had up to this point. So if I open up the view all best efforts, then you'll be able to see and navigate here at the top the different distances and see what your results are for this. It gives you the top 3 results from all your Strava entries. So in my case, if I look at my 5K, I ran a half marathon a couple of years ago with my best effort there, 21 minutes for 5Ks, which works out to 4:18. So I haven't been able to break that for the past couple of years. Hopefully I can do that soon. And if you scroll on, you can see a half marathon as well. My best half marathon was the same one, where I completed it in 1:41. I actually have a long-term goal to try and get under 90 minutes. Have not been able to do that yet, so we'll see how the next few months go. And if I have never done a marathon before, so if I click on marathon, then there's no PR there yet, so that makes sense, right? Now, just one other thing to add: if you ran a race that has an official time, or if you have another time that you used on that race, and you kind of want to change what your time entry is for this, then you can edit your time. Which is a really nice feature. This may be more for the professional athletes, I believe, but you can edit that time, or you can remove that effort if it is something that's not relevant to your for all your efforts, right? So that is how it looks like on the app. I just quickly want to show you what it looks like on the web version, on the PC version, where you can also go and have a look at your best efforts. So if I open up the Strava website, right? Let me move myself here to the corner, and you open up the website and you navigate. I just click on there. If you navigate to your profile, it should load now. then you will see, everything on your profile, but here on the right hand side you can see my stats, and this is usually where we find the all-time PRs and the estimated best efforts. So here you can see there's quite a few here, and this should align with the ones that you just saw on the app. So half marathon, this is a 1:41 that I mentioned earlier. 30K I did earlier this year, 3 hours. So that's how it looks like on the web app. You can also see what's your activity for the last 4 weeks. I have not been very active the last couple of weeks, so I hope to pick this up quite soon. The other nice thing about the web version, though, is that you can compare it to other people that you are following or that's following you, so to other runners. So the way that you do that is actually go to your following tab right here, and then you select one of the people that you are following. I already have a tab open here for professional athlete Gerda Steyn, record setter for the Comrades and the Two Oceans Marathon. And she basically runs my personal records as an easy run. So if you compare her estimated best efforts for something like a 5K, she runs it in 15 minutes and I do it in 21. A half marathon 1:10, I do it in 1:41. So she is an extraordinary runner. And then you can compare that. Most of the comparisons that you do would probably be people that's more or less in the same, either in the same club as you or in the same group as you. So I would recommend you doing that rather than comparing it to professional athletes. But yeah, that's the best efforts feature that's part of Strava. That's really useful for tracking your runs. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful.